What should a divorce agreement in the UAE contain? 2 seconds and we list the concepts. Hello everyone, my name is Rubert, lawyer and arbitrator with a base in the UAE in Dubai for the past 15 years. I'm happy to be with all of you to be talking about a very important aspect of life as an expat in the UAE, namely the occurrence of a divorce while living here that requires registration or application for a divorce in the UAE. I'm going to concentrate on amicable divorces and the beauty of divorce agreements. Why may be good divorce agreements rather than going to court? First of all, it's very fast. It will maintain the respect within the family. When there are kids, if you are going through a divorce, you will continue to be family. You are the mother or you are the father of the kids, and you are here for the long run in the life of your kids. So mental sanity as well. Time costs. If you go for litigation, this is gonna cost not only in legal fees, of course, but also translations, experts, because there will be financial experts that will need to be appointed by the court. If you are challenging the custody, there is a custody committee that will be revising the soundness and the psychological conditions of both parents. So it's not easy. It's not easy, and it takes a long time, and also the psychological damage to you and the family. So let's consider that you are there, you are thinking to find an agreement as suitable. Also, you're gonna have control over the decision. If you go to court, you give it to a financial expert, you are not gonna be entirely under control or on control of the decision. So you will walk out, or you should walk out feeling as a win-win situation. Some things you will need to give up, other things your husband or your wife will give up. So it's a give and take for the benefit of the kids. Yeah, so okay, we are there. We want to come to an agreement. What are some points that we need to think about? We need to think about marital property. Do you live now in a house that you both bought? How are you gonna do it? What are the living arrangements going to be? Are you going to sell it? Are you gonna split it? When you think about this, you also need to think about joint accounts. Do you have a pension? Do you have savings? All of it, you have savings here, you have savings in your home country for the future. You have a pension fund here, you have a pension in your home country for the future. You will need to think about this, and also the liabilities, rights and liabilities. Do you have a mortgage? How are you gonna do with the mortgage? Yes, do you have a loan, a personal loan for something you did in the house, for a trip that you wanted to take, for a car that you wanted to buy? You will need to address this in the agreement. Also, and before we jump to the most important, will be the spousal support. If you are a wife, or your wife has been sacrificing her career for you, or you've been sacrificing your career for your husband and for your kids, this is something that will be compensated. There is a long list of factors that a judge can take into account. Pretty much this will be given to a financial expert, so they will need to understand the finance of the family, how much you make, how much your spouse makes, how are payments done, who covers what, and why, because they will need to assess what is the family's lifestyle in order for the kids to maintain that lifestyle after the divorce. Of course, with adjustments, because a divorce has an impact. Even if a father that is usually the bread earner here in the UAE has a good lifestyle, having to maintain 2 houses is a big impact. So everyone usually has to adjust a little bit, but the lifestyle of the kids cannot drop as a hot potato due to a divorce, right? So the key, I think, on the main chunk of the issues when it comes to divorces is is child custody and child support. The first question is, how are we going to do it? Now the law under UAE for expats is joint custody, so how are we going to do that? Some families cannot do the regular Friday to Friday or Monday to Monday because they do travel significantly, but they will need to come to a sort of agreement that is, and the courts will not revise that if it's good for the kids. Usually whatever you agree, it will be accepted. Then how are your kids going to spend vacations? This also will need to be addressed. Usually, if you get the Christmas week, you will get the New Year's Eve, and then it will be alternatively the same for July and August in summer. Yes. Then who is gonna pay for what? Who's gonna pay schooling? Who's gonna pay extracurricular activities? Who's gonna pay housing? Are the parents going to share? Is the father going to support wife for a few years? This will need to be assessed on case-by-case basis in attendance of the actual circumstances. If a mommy is not working for 20 years, it may be reasonable to expect that there will be some transition, that the father should be supporting for the wife, for the mom, to be able to go back to professional life. Yes, so these are some aspects that need to be taken into account. Also, it's very important, who is going to decide for what? You are gonna be divorced, kids are gonna be apart. What are you gonna be telling each other? How are you going to be talking to each other about the kids? Yes, what are you gonna be checking? Religion, university, school, major decisions, health decision. There is an accident. Who's gonna decide what? This is very difficult to treat, but it's important that it's decided. Then, health and safety. Yeah, who's gonna pay for the insurance? Are you gonna have a life insurance to cover potential fatalities as well? These are all points to consider when addressing children custody and child support. Then what other concepts are usually added when addressing a settlement agreement, a divorce settlement agreement in the UAE? Something that we encourage our clients to think about is relocation. People usually are not here in the UAE forever. What happens if you want to relocate? If you want to go back to your home country or you want to take a job somewhere else, how are going to decisions to be made? Are you completely against it? Are you open to it? How will decisions be made on this? Yes. Then how are you going to modify the terms? Is it possible? You may set up some conditions under which the custody arrangement can be modified. Also, methods for resolving disputes. You may want to put mediation before resorting to court. Then you can also agree parental conduct. This is something that we address a lot. I don't want my wife, I don't want my husband to speak badly about me to my kids. This is something that can be addressed in the settlement agreement as well. Education aspects, such as choice and involvement in education activities. Yes, access to school records and participation in school events. Usually, we tend to encourage parents to agree to share those big days. Yes, graduation, both can attend, of course. So we try to put it that they will be sharing the big days. Also, birthdays, for example. Some parents agree half day with one, half day with the other. Yeah, so that's points to consider that later on may be an issue, maybe not, but all you agree will be collected in writing, and it may be good for future. Confidentiality of the terms, communication guidelines for communication between parents. We often see that when a couple gets divorced, then they go through a stage of tense relations. So send information about the kids on WhatsApp, and maybe the other side is, I'm feeding, I'm bathing the kids. I cannot answer WhatsApps at the minute, Relationship changes, communication changes when a divorce takes place. So it's good that you say, we are gonna communicate, once a day. We will send major highlights of the kids, maybe at the beginning to the very least, or when the kids are very little, because later on the kids will have devices and will be able to communicate directly. Also, if the kids are 1 week with one parent, one other week with the other parent, how are they going to talk during that week? Sometimes they can set a timing to talk, or sometimes the parents can say, okay, this week the kids are with you, but I'll go pick them up and I will have them for 2, 3, 4 hours after school. I will take them for dinner and then I drop them. So these are some points to give you some food for thought if you are considering a divorce in the UAE, if you are considering whether to go amicable or to go the fisty route. Please, I hope you have learned a little bit. Please do like my video, subscribe to it to get to new information as soon as it is out, and you can also follow me on social media where I address other aspects of my day-to-day. For questions, specific questions, please do shoot me an email to maria@rubertpartners.com, and I will be very happy to help you with your doubts and your process of divorce in the UAE. Thank you very much.